Well, you've got through. That's the main thing. Made hard work of it, yeah?
Oh, it's fair to say that is a good way of putting it, Keith. I couldn't have put it any better myself. It was pretty evident that we needed the game to a lot of people who will benefit from it, from Big Joe up front to Kieran Clark in particular, who's obviously trying to get over, an injury from last January, Christmas time. So, they're the big pluses for me, and of course the goalkeeper who's arrived. The only bit of quality that we showed all night really was the goal. It was a great ball and a great run, and Ryan stuck it in. But it was fair to say it was a struggle for us against a very, very decent Blackburn team. I'd be disappointed if I was in Tony's shoes now losing that game. But hey, that's the cup, and that's the way it is. But certainly we'd be a lot better for the game.
You must be really pleased, though, that that's another one of your new signings getting off their mark in their debut.
Yeah, considering he hasn't played since March. I thought his effort and his endeavour and his enthusiasm was there for everybody to see. And it was a great finish, great run, great ball from Miggy. And as I said, it was that little bit of quality, the only real bit of quality that was showed all night.
I think that's the first time Newcastle have won their first 2 domestic matches since the turn of the century.
Oh, Jesus. Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I know it wasn't pretty tonight, but it gives you something to build on, doesn't it? 2 clean sheets and then 100% start.
And the goalkeeper, who it was given away when it was a 16-year-old. It was a big night for him on his debut. A big night who was arguably our best player. Big night for Dan Balassa, who's made his debut for Newcastle. So all them little things, Big Joe getting some games on. Matt Ritchie was another one who's been, not training a lot. Kieran Clark was the biggest one for me. And I thought he was immaculate considering he hadn't played since practically last Christmas time.
Yeah, just last one for me, Steve, before I hand it over, just off topic. Has there been any decision with Muto yet?
I believe Muto's travelled to Spain on the view of a loan deal. So we hope that he can go and complete that and go and get some football. He hasn't really played a lot. So with the additions, what we've brought this year, then we think it's best for him to go and play somewhere where he's going to enjoy his football.
Cheers, Steve. Thanks.
Thanks, Steve. Going to go to Vicky Sparks, 5 Live.
Hi, Steve.
Vicky, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks.
Just obviously when you make 10 changes, things are sometimes a little bit disjointed, and we saw that this evening. Were you expecting it to be a bit more cohesive because it was senior players coming in?
Yeah, I was just the amount of changes what you make. People who are just back from injury, it is very, very difficult to, no matter who you are, Ryan Fraser and Kieran Clark in particular, Dan Basser, who are making his debut. Kieran and Kieran in particular is, he's only that's his first 90 minutes in months, and the same goes for Ryan too. Matt Ritchie hasn't trained a lot, so I was always a bit wary that people needed a game, and that was pretty evident. So the game has done them the world of good, and thankfully we've got away with it. So the getting a few minutes under their belt was good for a lot of them, and it was badly needed.
Joe Linton looked frustrated at times this evening. Is he the sort of player that needs a bit of an arm around him, particularly with Callum Wilson coming in?
Yeah, look, Joe has always worked his socks off and given the club as best he can, and he's got to dust himself down and get on with the challenge in front of him. That's football, but he's big enough to take it, and he had a frustrating night. It's fair to say, but. You keep working away and I'm sure you'll be okay.
And Morecambe of League 2 away in the next round. Realistically, this is a good chance to get an early cup run going.
Yeah, well, we've got another big game on Sunday, and that's now 6 games we're going to play in a period of something like 2.5 weeks. So we'll get ready for that challenge. And as I said, that thing tonight, that game tonight is make sure that we've got a lot of them now with a bit of football under the belt, which will help as well.
And just on Ryan Fraser, it was touched on earlier, but how delighting is it for you that 3 of your signings have now scored on their debuts?
Well, it's great for them. So I'm more pleased for them that they've came in and made a huge impact, and the goalkeeper making a clean sheet as well. So all 5 of them have contributed fantastically well, which you couldn't ask for more in a couple of weeks that they've been here. You know, they've lit the place up, and of course they've got off to a good start, and that always helps when you're bringing in a new player.
It's brilliant. Thanks so much, Steve.
Thank you.
Matthew Raisbeck, BBC Newcastle.
Hi, Steve.
Matt, how are you?
All right. At the end, Steve, Alan Saint-Maximin had to receive some treatment just by the side of the pitch. Is he okay?
Yeah, we think he's okay. Yeah, he's okay.
Do you know?
Unless it was dramatic, it was a bit of a knock. We think. I thought he got himself tangled in the turf, but we at this stage anyway think there's nothing to worry about.
You gave an opportunity tonight to a number of players. One of them, Dan Barlaser, you've already mentioned him. You've kept hold of him this summer, and you've had the opportunity to have a look at him. How do you think he did this evening? He
did okay. I mean, it was a big night for him making his debut. I think that's his main debut, is it? I think it is anyway. But you know, and it would have been nice that we had more possession and all the rest of it. So the kid did okay. It was a difficult evening for us all, even with me established Premier League players, let alone a young lad like him. But I'm sure he'll enjoy the experience, even though it was hard going at times.
It's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, can you use the raise hand function, please? I'm going to go to Chris Conway, ITV Tenties.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
Watching that on the sidelines tonight, was that a bit sort of like watching the team at times from last season and just underline the importance of the business that you've done in the transfer market?
Well, I've said all along, look, that the squad is definitely stronger than it was this time 12 months ago. So that is the big thing of the improvement. And so, you know, I'll make no excuse for it. That is where we are today. And it was good that we've got some of them who desperately needed a game. And let's be fair, we're not going to say anything other that we were fortunate. But the good thing for me is they've got through the game. They're okay, and that'll stand us in good stead.
Thanks, Chris. Chris Waff, The Athletic.
Hi, Steve. I just want to ask you about Sean Longstaff, and in terms of this season, feels like quite an important season for him, given maybe the struggles of last year. Where does he sort of fit into his plans, and into your plans? And do you think it is an important season for him?
Well, it's an important season for all of them. If they want to try and get in the team, it was a perfect way today to throw down the gauntlet to get in the team for Sunday in the Premier League team. So. It's Sean's like nobody else. He's in the last year of his contract. We all know what capability he's got. He's got to show it more often and more regular. And I'm sure tonight he'll be a bit disappointed with how he's played. But we've got to make sure that we can try and get him to where he maybe was. So you know, he's got a lot of work to do, but he's got healthy competition around him. And so, as I said, I think he was another one who needed the game tonight, and I think that showed.
Any follow-ups to that, Chris?
Just in terms of this season, do you see him playing deeper? Do you see him playing further forward? Or can he do a bit of both? Where do you see him sort of playing?
Well, he certainly best games for me last season when he played off the front in a number 10. At Bournemouth away, I think it was West Brom in the Cup. Certainly in a more forward position. Today, I played him in the centre of midfield and in a 2. So, look, he can play. Certainly, he's a midfield player, but probably his best position maybe in a number 10 role. But we'll see.
Thanks, Chris. Damien Spellman, PA.
Hi, Steve. Was that performance from Miguel Almiron what you would have expected from a lad who would have been disappointed to be left out on Saturday?
Oh, he would listen. I left him out, and I think we all know where I think of Almiron. He's a manager's delight. So I made a call on Saturday basically because I think we needed to be able to match West Ham physically. Otherwise, the game might have been out of sight for us. And, you know, especially if we're winning what we were and we brought him on, he might even scored a couple of goals on Saturday. So Miggy be fine. He put in a wonderful pass for today. And he's a great player, the kid.
Thanks, Damien. Lee Ryder, Chronicle.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Lee.
You okay? Yeah. First time we've got through the third round in 3 years, so another good start.
Well, keep giving me the good stats, Lee. It was fair to say we're not going to try and mask over anything. I think we're fortunate to be in there. However, considering the problems and the team that I put out with the lack of game time and two young'uns playing in the middle of the pitch, then it was always going to be a tricky tie, because I think Blackburn are a very, very decent team. You know, Tony always plays a certain way, and he can count himself a bit unlucky tonight.
Any follow-up, Lee?
Yeah, I was just going to ask. You've got Jake Turner on loan at Morecambe.
Yep.
Can he play next week if they wanted him to?
I don't think so. I don't know, but I'll check the rules. I don't think so.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay. Further questions?